Okay.
Hello.
Hi. We are back together with David, my husband. I wanted to talk about today about the topic of weight gain. Juicy topic because, yeah, I think everyone who has been struggling with a restrictive eating disorder um, actually has to deal with this fear a lot because it's usually,
The
I
driving
think
fear.
in all cases, I would actually say the driving um, fear that is underneath all of the other fears, because if you did not have this fear of weight gain, then all of the other fears would not exist, basically, because why else would you be afraid of calories and stuff and not moving a lot and stuff? So and we wanted to particularly shine a light on the perspective of weight gain in the side of the partner, which in my case is you. And I mean, yeah, guys, it's been a super, super big deal. Uh, yeah, it's been a big, big topic in conversations before recovery, also before quasi recovery, but then also during recovery. And it's usually been accompanied by a lot of tears on my side, just because I basically wanted to be able to see things like David did. And I usually was so in love with the words he would say to me, but I was very afraid that it was, only he just said it because he loved me and he didn't want to hurt me. And I was always afraid of, well, but what if I will actually be less attractive for him? And then theoretically knowing that, well, it's not my responsibility, if you will, to to be a certain way, because love for us, we always knew, and we always built upon a definition of love that has nothing to do with the outside. Because how long do you think it will last if you build your relationship or your marriage or whatever, your partnership, on something superficial? I mean, everyone knows there will be a time, it's only going to be a matter of time, and it will break because there's going to be another, even more beautiful man or woman. And then, well, so is that it then? I mean, that's not love. And
And
so,
also
yeah.
because it your outer like the way you look can very easily just in a second be destroyed. I mean, if you have a car accident or what,
So
a
true.
different like traumatic experience,
Mhm.
it can change from one second to the other, and then suddenly
Mhm.
if you build your relationship on just the way your partner looks, then suddenly the whole
Yeah, you're just
relationship
gonna
is like
leave them after the
boom,
accident. Yay.
which doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. So it has to have also a deeper layer, and that is what we aim
Yeah,
to build.
we've always been convinced that just love is when you are um, regarding your partner as higher than yourself. Do you say it in English? It's like I don't know how to say it in a better way now. Um, you kind of just look up to them and you cater to them. It's like you put them higher than yourself,
Yeah,
because love is not about what it wants or what you want, but about the one you love. It's, does that say what we want to say? I think so.
yeah, it's like
Base, yeah.
putting your partner first,
Mm.
and then second
Yeah,
comes you,
because, yeah,
and
basically
also
love
the
is
other way around.
selfless.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the whole
So yeah,
idea.
love doesn't um seek their own way or wants to just have things its own way, but it's selfless. That's the kind of love we base our marriage on. And So yeah, I always knew like my fear of being less attractive in that sense is irrational. Theoretically, I knew that. But we're also living in the world that we live in. And I just thought, well, what if it's my fault then if I let myself go and gain weight? I mean, that's sadly how often it is misinterpreted. Like when someone gains weight, like society likes to think or likes to say that, well, they let themselves go,
they're out of
are not
control.
exactly there. They
Yeah.
don't have their life together, don't have their shit together, don't have yeah, it's just they're not as disciplined as other people who are.
When they're totally,
Yeah.
it couldn't be further away from the truth. It does
True.
totally neglect like your also like your physical, your psychological self.
Yeah, as
It's
with
like
as with anything,
it's not
there
about
can be too
discipline.
much.
Like the whole world, the whole life is not only about discipline.
Exactly. And if you have too much of it, like what kind of person are you to be around? Like it's not going to be a whole lot of fun, I guess. Well, it certainly wasn't with me at times.
Yeah.
Yeah. um
So yeah,
yeah.
because you said earlier that. Did you actually say that? I don't know. Maybe I mix it up because we just had the German live stream as well.
Yes.
But what I wanted to say is that you had the fear of gaining weight. We talked about it a lot, and I always like assured you that it's not a thing for me. Like it doesn't matter for me if you gain weight or you don't. I honestly, I didn't care, and I still don't care because there's so much more to it.
It
Because
sounds like you just don't care. Like yeah, but in the best sense.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't care if you gain weight or you don't, because
Mhm.
it doesn't matter. There's like our relationship is not based on the number on the scale.
Mhm.
It's like if we
What about feel?
somehow Siri also came up this time.
How? Yeah, okay, it's not about the number on the scale, but how about how it feels? You know, when you get intimate, we're touching. I mean, that's also part of love, part of a relationship. You feel the other person's body. Is that also like you don't care if it feels different? There's, you know, let's say there's just, you know, more fat on the hips. It's you can feel it in some way.
Yeah, I'd say you have to look at it from a whole perspective. Like there are several things which come together, and all together they make the other person attractive to me. And so the outer appearance is one part of the puzzle for sure. But then there's also like your psychological um, condition or state, like if you're like super self-confident or if you're not. And all those things, they interfere, they come together, and together they form a whole picture. And so just the body weight is a tiny little bit of the whole picture. And in this regard, it doesn't really matter to me if it's like if it's gaining a few kilos or losing a few kilos. It doesn't matter.
So what
Because
matters more?
on the other side, because that's what we realized, and what actually happened is um, that when you gained weight, this also was accompanied by a change in your personality
So
for the
much.
better. And this really made, I don't really want to say it made up for the weight gain, but it like the weight gain was this effect, and the like your personality change was like this effect, like
Yeah.
very
But
much and a lot bigger. So
I think like you can actually rephrase it. I don't think that you view weight gain as something that has to be made up for. Like it was
Yeah.
never a disadvantage for you in like maybe you want to talk a little bit more about that, because like in my head it was always this like, well, 5 kilos is a huge deal. I'm going to look like, you know, of course, I mean, they have to be somewhere, and they're usually going to be like in women's bodies, they're going to be on the belly, on the hips, like, you know, the love handles or whatever people call them. It's like really strange, but
Left toe.
the left toe, yeah. No, by the way, also breasts, which many women, yes. It did happen to me as well. I mean, everyone is always afraid of it going somewhere where you don't want it, but how about it goes also to places where you might be happy about? Just some food for thought. Might be another topic video. But the thing is, so where did I want to go? I lost my train of thought. Where was I?
Next to me. And you're still next to me.
What was I talking about before?
You said you actually gained some weight.
Yes, and then is it, I mean, the 5 kilos that were drama in my mind were the question is if they were even, if it made me in your eyes worse than before, because there have been times where like you never said anything in a bad way to me or in any non-appreciative way, but there were times when you were worried, which was basically around a year ago or a year and a half ago, where you noticed that I had lost some weight. And I mean, it's not a problem per se, but you were wondering if everything is all right, because you also know about my past and stuff. And so the question is, because some people might be afraid, well, okay, she made up with her personality and with her new kind of happiness and stuff from recovery for her weight gain. So, you know, but in the end, the weight gain was a bad thing, right? But I think that's the wrong way to take it. I think in your eyes, it was a good thing.
It definitely was. And to be honest, like the 5 kilos, I don't know where they went. I don't see them.
Yeah, let's just say you love those 5 kilos.
Yeah, but it's like you said, in your head, it was like a big drama, like, wow, so much weight gain. And for me, it was like, great.
I mean, that goes to show, because I definitely know, and I mean, I gained weight quickly in the recovery, as you like, when I went all in a matter of a couple of weeks. I just felt it. I also felt it when I was just walking and moving normally. You don't need a scale in order to feel that you're gaining weight. But the thing is, of course, you're also hyper feeling it. Of course, you're just hypersensitive for anything. You might also make it up in your head and whatever. But for sure, like the 6-pack I had before was gone. And, you know, that was just something, like my brain was so used to seeing that, or to feeling that, or to not feeling anything when I was walking, which does not mean that you have excess fat. It's just there's something that brings your life back. You know, there's something that is also active in terms of hormones, active in terms of you getting your libido back, I think you say in English. It's, I mean, that is also something that is much more attractive to any partner than any kind of physique. I think like a healthy libido is something that no one finds unattractive, I think. I mean,
It's the
if you
idea of
have
libido.
healthy libido, then of course you feel more attractive and also more sexy in general. it's just based on hormones. It's not basically how it works. And hormones in a woman's body only work in a balanced way. They should, with cycle and everything, when there is enough body and there's some fat stores somewhere. And yeah. So you were about to say that it was actually a good thing. Was I
Also,
interrupting you?
yeah, because like in this process of like gaining weight, but also at the same time gaining self-confidence, I'd say. There was the time when we realized, okay, there's so much more to it, like so much more benefits. Also, like spontaneity in terms of, okay, let's go out. Not only
No.
libido,
I mean, because
but
you spelled the word, so we learned it recently. Spontaneity.
yes,
Yeah.
my mind's still capable to learn something. Yeah, to just go out and like for lunch or for dinner, or to get a coffee outside, to meet some friends, just
And
very
not only do
spontaneously,
that, but do it happily
and
relax.
enjoy it, and
Yes.
like immerse yourself into the situation.
And not even trying to avoid it in the beginning, like to begin with. I mean, that's what I used to do, like trying to talk us out of that. We have to go, maybe not today, and it's like not even trying to not do it. It's just the genuine happiness of just being able to do it. Which
And I'd say that just the everyday life got so much more relaxed and much easier.
Yeah. Why would you say? What do you
think? I think because like some fears have went away. Like
many fears.
Many fears, and it's just the reprogramming of your mind, like of your brain to know, okay, I used to have a lot of fear about this and that in the past, but I reprogrammed it. I made my own experience, and I have to say, it's not a big deal anymore. So and that's
just what being carefree,
and also more capable of
careless, whatever.
Capable of like focusing on different things, like just not only like food and be money, like to save money or not to spend too much money, all those
not being so tense about things, but really, things that are not I now very much think about things that are not vital. For example, like just meeting with friends, doing things that are enjoyable, or kind of to do you say spoil, like treat yourself, like enjoy things. I wasn't very able to do that in the mindset of scarcity, where you feel like just have, it's much more important to save that money than enjoying the coffee, because you can't make coffee at home. Like let's not go get the coffee.
I'd say you've become more outgoing, like in general. Like your personality is more outgoing now.
Yes.
And I think it also used to be in the past, but it was like covered or hidden or intimidated.
Yes, it was totally just destroyed, just like a blanket of eating disorder over.
So we're scratching everything off now from you.
No, but it's already scratched off.
Get the real Miri back.
It's all scratched. I mean, most of it is scratched off.
And maybe just to summarize, if you're in a situation where you have the fear of weight gain, just be reminded that it's not only about the weight gain, but it's also about so much other areas of your life which will improve heavily when you face the weight gain. and it's absolutely worth it.
Yes, and I want to say that there will never be the point where you feel like, okay, now I'm ready. Now I lost the fear of gaining weight, so now I will eat without restriction and go all in and all of that. It's not going to happen. It never happened in my 18 years that I was waiting for that moment. But it's more going to be like you have to commit first and go against all of the fears. And then you can trust, I promise you, that by doing that and just doing it, uh, despite the fear, then the fear will get less and less and less. Because, I mean, also because you're noticing all of the benefits. And that the more radical you go, the more radical you're going to feel that you're just coming to life again and you're thriving, thriving, um, thriving, and in the end, you will also really get to the point where the fear of weight gain doesn't exist anymore, because it's I don't even like, of course you see the benefits that you got, but also in my case I feel very much that it's really just a rewiring thing and a feeling well and balanced also hormonally in the body. I think it's also biological that this fear goes away, which I can recommend the book from Tabitha Farrar, which helped me really much, which I'm translating now into German. If you know someone in German, you can let them know, because it's very unknown in the German area. But the book, Rehabilitate, Rewire, Recover. It's basically a manual for recovery for adults. And so it really goes into the details of why this fear of weight gain is reversible. You can actually get rid of it by going food first, by acting as if you didn't have that fear, which is, it sounds off, but it works. And I thought I was the unicorn that it wouldn't work for, but yeah, everyone thinks that I think, but it's not the case. Yes.
And maybe a final thought at the end: if you're someone who's not struggling with an eating disorder and not having the fear of weight gain, but are the partner to a person who's struggling with this, or let's say a good friend or family member, then I would like to encourage you to not focus on the body of that person. So not focusing on the weight gain, but focus on the person itself.
Because that's what love is.
That's what love is. And I think that's probably also why it's called personality, and not bodyality or whatever.
Oh, great point.
It's about the person, and the person is so much more than just the body, so much more than just the outer appearance. And do yourself.
And health is not a certain look. Like, it's just not.
Yeah. And just do yourself and the other person you're trying to help a favor, and don't focus on the body, don't focus on the weight, but focus on the person, on the mental health, which is so much more important.
Which will also, in turn, benefit the health of the body, the physical health.
Yeah. All right. That's it for today. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
And
see you tomorrow. And the next live stream is on Mondays. We're not expecting any questions because we think it's just time zone chaos, whatever. But we will talk about something.
Yep.
Okay. See you.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye-bye.